Okay, guys, let me see. I'm talking about the water supply, I would say. I've sent some pictures about my point of view and how to get water or fresh water into your country so that you can grow as country, because I think water is pretty crucial for your bodies, and so you would need it. And if as far as you have water, you can also use this water to grow food. So first of all, I've sent a picture of this, already discussed this with another one. Let's call this guy LJ. LJ is a person, and LJ is also living somewhere in Brikama, somewhere in the inner country, I would say. The person said that the person would need about 4 hours to get to a lake or to water. Actually, I don't know where this person is. That is okay so far, but we have some information to be able to understand each other and to make or to grow some ideas. So that's the basic time. As you can see, the 4 hours would be too much. Yeah. Because it's time consuming, it is energy consuming. That's the basic problem. 4 hours in the sun, and, it's taking too much time. So, nevertheless, you have more people in your country. That is why my idea would be, to have people at the ocean, as you can see here, or at a lake or something, or at some water, at least, so they can get the water out of the ocean or the lake or the river or whatever, and then even without machines, they can maybe build some water boats, for example. With these water boats, they would be able to filter the water. As far as I can see, and as I know, that is not good enough to filter the salt water, but it is good enough to filter bacteria, or most of the bacteria, as also to filter the dirt and anything, to make at least some clear water. And after this procedure, we would need to boil it. So that is why we need to relate the idea to some bowls for filtering, and as also to some ovens. All the stuff is possible to build from bricks, and bricks, I already shared this video about bricks, and so we could make an oven, and in this oven we could make some glass, for example, but we need to practice it. And how is it made? It is always made just from sand, nothing else, sand and stones. But you will see it in the videos I share, and if you ask questions if needed. But anyway, you should try it out, but don't get sick. So it always needs to be boiled. I think the first thing would be to make bricks and to make the oven and to make the water bowls, so that we have some kind of a process to make sure that anything is gonna be right. Maybe I will write down another one. Let me say the paint. But let me go on with the idea at first. So let me see the third one. You can see that the 4 hours to bring the water from the outer country or from the ocean, like fresh water, to the inner country would be quite time consuming and is also energy consuming. So it's a little bit difficult to handle, I would say. So at this point here, at the X, it's like the person, like if you would say you as a person, and the point here is another person at the river. Yeah? As I already mentioned, at the river there are some people who would filter the water so that the water would be without salt, without any bacteria, so it would be healthy. Because they can boil it or anything. But anyway, the most important thing is to get water from there to the point. Maybe we can build the buildings for filtering the water in here, or we also could build them in the inner country. Whatever is better. It really depends on where to get the sand from, where to get the water from, and where to build the ovens, where to build the bowls, and anything. Yeah. For the bowls, you have to have a look on the video for the bowls. I think I also can make it happen. The bowls, because there is a video of this. If you don't know the video, let me see, maybe I should link it. Anyway, let me open it. I think I can open it, can't I? No. Okay.
Hello viewers,
So for the water bowls, it's like this video in here. That is for the water bowls.
Today I'm here to show you
how that is where I got the idea from. And to make bricks, it's like from this video here.
Willkommen im Land des Suchenden.
But now
die
there's
Leidenschaftlichen,
some
die
kind
Vorreiter
of
und die Durstigen. Durstig nach Abenteuer, durstig
takes a little bit of time.
nach Leben. San Miguel auf die Suchenden.
Guys. And in this video you will see and here you always have the number, and if you type in the video like this and then the special number, then you get the corresponding video. But we won't go through the video. It's just how to get bricks, but that is mentioned in the video, and there you can get it. Okay, let's see. As I already mentioned, it is time consuming to walk between the points, I would say. The points between the river, where some persons are, and the inner country. For example, it takes about 4 hours. That is the information I've got so far, but we can make it a little bit better. So in between, we would build some stations. So if you get a line, like paint, please, thank you. If you get a line, and here on the line is the person with the water, and in between there will be the station, and here is just like the person, whatever person in the inner country. So that's like the inner country and the outer country, like at the river. Let me see, river or any other water. The main thing is, all in all, this person would need about 4 hours. But if you put in the stations, then a person would need about 2 hours. to get there, so they would be able to take breaks or anything. So that is why we would need more persons, as one person would maybe wait here to get the water, and we fill up the water so that the person can pick up the water and get to another person back, I would say. But let me see. I think 1 hour is good enough, because 2 hours is also too much. So we would break it up to 1 hour, or whatever is possible. That is why we would need some people and the stations, because to run the stations, I think one would run the station, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least, to run the station itself. So one would get water out of the river and filter it and anything. One would bring the water to the station and anything back. They can take some breaks in between, and then we need another one who will get the water from here to this station, another one who will get the water from here to here, and at least we would need to schedule or to plan it a little bit, I would say. And maybe some empty bottles or anything will be brought back. So we won't need too much time between the stations. So maybe in one time the stations can be filled, and another time people can pick up something, I would say. So let's say in the morning people come to fill the stations. They would need about 2 hours at maximum, and so from the other side they're coming and need also only 2 hours. I think it's all in all 4 hours, but in our example it would be 1 hour for one way, and one way back is another hour. So that would be fine, I think. And in the meantime, others would go on as well. So at the river or at the ocean or anything, they would clean up the water. They would make sure that the water is really clean, or at least in one of the stations they make sure that it is clean. Whatever procedure is better. Maybe it's better to get the water and just bring it to another station, so that they just need to concentrate on getting the water. It really depends on what capabilities you have, and maybe what capabilities we can teach each other, I would say. But we should really concentrate on we need to try it out, I would say. So I think to get the water really clean or without salt, it needs to be filtered via stones and anything. Maybe it already works. If not, we should make some glass. We can even make it out of sand, I think. There's also a video, but by now let's stick to the water bowl. Or even you have another idea, just because there are some other ideas that are already done. But all in all, that would be the idea. But I hope you get the point a little bit better. But let me not save it because I have it in the video by now. It's fine. Okay. So the target would be always to minimize the time and the energy to get water. Yes, and the other WhatsApp image what I have, as you can see on this paper, the beginning was that we would need about 4 hours from the cross to the point, so from the water to the inner country, just one way, and one way back is about another 4 hours. It's really too much. So we would just need more persons. So one person, as I already mentioned, would get the water maybe out of the river, and will put it into the filter, and then the water gets filtered, and that is what the person does all the time. Yeah. And whatever is needed as a work, we should do. Maybe we can get the filtered water out of it and boil it right at the river, or we transport the water to a station, yeah, and we'll filter it there, whatever is better. Yeah. I think we need to try it out a little bit so that we can optimize the process, but at first we should start at one point so that we at least go on, I would say. In another station, maybe we could not only filter the water, but boil the water so that the bacteria and viruses are dead, and so that people don't get unhealthy or sick. And maybe we should do it at a far point so that the bacteria cannot back again, so that the water can get to its point where it's needed. For example, in the inner country, there are people they need some water for the fields or for to farm, just to farm. So on the one hand, you will get water, you can drink it, you can wash with it, whatever. Yeah. So you need some people to get the water and to make sure in the process that the water is getting fresh water, whatever quality it has, I would say. So on the one hand, you will get water, and on the other hand, you will get food. The water, I think it's a little bit quicker. I mean, there's also a process in between, but the water is almost there, so you just need to get it and filter it. That is what can take maybe up to hours to get some water, and so the workers can get the loan of water. That's going to be the loan, I would say, because I think it's really it has value to you, and even if you don't need the water, you can get or you can contribute more water to the society and to other people, so that the food production can raise and you prosper as a society, I would say. Yeah, you get as much as you need as fresh water for your body and for your family, for example, and then you make as much as possible without harming yourself, I would say. And then more and more people could go wherever is needed. Yeah? So we could spread some information, like if there's somebody needed or not, but we must discuss it as a society, as a group, so that everybody will have something out of it. Yeah, it's not only in your country. It's not going to be only in the country, because we are just beginning in your country. But if you have some practice and you work together as a team, and we can spread that information, maybe we can even spread it via Gambia, via Senegal, via Guinea-Bissau. I think the basic idea can be spread around Africa so far. But by now we are beginning with Gambia for sure. Maybe you're somewhere here, and some persons are at the ocean. Then the persons at the ocean will get the water and make sure that it is brought to some stations, so that the time to get to a station is mitigated, so is as low as possible. So for one transport you would need 2 hours. Then it would be fine, so you could do maybe 4 transports a day, and to get more water. And so then we must make sure that we have as much as possible possibilities to get the water. But I think we can also get it with stone. Yeah, so you have a lot of sand in your country and some water at least, and then you can make some containers out of sand and water, to be honest. Just with the oven. Yeah? The oven needs to be done, I think, and then with the oven we can make a lot of things. Hope you get my point. You can get my point. Nah.